Okay, we are going to do this, or I'm going to do this. I'm gonna sit here listening to the rain and think about why. Why do I want to live in a car or just travel in the car, in the back of the car? So why do I want to choose van life for my holidays or even maybe for my life? I don't know where I'm gonna end up if I'm just gonna go for holidays, and then if it's gonna be a lifestyle, if it's gonna turn into a lifestyle. So there are things, there are reasons I want to do this. I want to travel slowly because I hate like the stress of having to be somewhere at a certain time. So my last trip I went to Italy. So what I did was that first off I had to get to the train station. And then the train wasn't going because there was some thing happened, so I needed to get to another train station. So I had to get my friend to drive me. Luckily she did drive me to the train station where they were actually going. And then, then you came to the airport. You have to be at the airport at a certain time before check-in. So like 2 hours before you're leaving, 1 to 2 hours. Then you're on there is waiting and there are lines and there is just all this stuff, And then you're just like in the plane. You get into the plane, there is this small space and you have to pay if you want to buy drinks or foods or something. If you want to bring food or water or something, you have to fill it up when you're waiting for the plane after check-in. So you can't bring your well, you can actually bring sandwich as long as it's dry foods. You can bring it, but you can't bring a smoothie or stuff like that. But you can bring dry foods. I've done that and it's gone through checkup all right. So anyway, so and then you're on the plane and then you arrive, and you're in this plane with a lot of other people, and you have to use these tiny little toilets, and you have to squeeze through whatever person you're sitting next to and down the aisle, and then squeeze through. Maybe they are out with those little wagons and all that stuff if you ever traveled. And then you arrive and you're through checkup, check out, or check in, or whatever that's called. And you then have to get from the airport to where you're gonna stay. So you might have to pay for a taxi or check out buses or trains or stuff like that. And if you're taking a bus or a train, you have to get from that stop to the place you're gonna be. If you take a taxi, you're gonna be driven all the way to the door. But all that, my last time, it was horrible. I got picked up at the airport and I got to stay with a guy. So I was he was gonna rent out or let me stay at his holiday house, but then there was a storm coming, and the whole week I was there. I went to Italy to get some sun and have a little last blast of warmth and sun before winter last year. No, that was 20. Well, it's a new year, so it's 2021, not 2022. So yeah, 2 years ago now. Anyway, so I was there for a week, and the whole week I was there, it was a storm. So it was cold and raining the whole freaking week. And I was stuck there in the cold and the rain. And there were some of the people that I met the first night that was gonna go to the move. They were driving back to Norway, I think. And they texted us a day or two later, and the place they were in was lovely, sunny, 20 degrees, just perfect, And there I was stuck and cold, and luckily this guy that was gonna he took pity on me and looked after me so I could stay in his guest room, and he fed me and everything, so it was okay. I didn't have to sit in his holiday house that was meant for summer and sit there and freeze in this big, because the houses in Italy are not built for cold. You know, they are built with brick and stone, and you know, it's just, it gets cold when it gets cold there. Worse than here. Anyway, after that trip, and then I had to get back, and it was the same thing again. And I landed at the night, and the night was the night where it changed between summer and winter time. So I am like, if I might have been able to get to take the train back home, but I wasn't sure if it was closed or not. Like, when did they, like, you know. So I ended up taking a taxi to a hotel and sleeping over at the hotel, and then the next day I had to take the bus back to the airport so I could get on the train to go back home, you know. And then I had to get picked up at the train station to get back to my house, and all that time, like, it took about 10 hours from I left from my door, like my front door, until I was in the place where I was supposed to be in Italy. So in 10 hours, I could have driven so far, and I would have all these nice views, and I could stop for snacks whenever I wanted to, and I could do all these things, and I could listen to my music, and I could fart, and nobody would be bothered by that, and I wouldn't be stuck next to someone in a tiny seat that might be smelly and obnoxious or whatever, you know, things like that. So you know, that's why I wanted to do traveling van lifestyle, because it's just me and the road and the time I want to spend. If I want to stop somewhere, I can stop somewhere, you know. If I want to eat, I can eat. I can, you know. That's what I want. And living inside the back of my car, meaning I don't need to be at a hotel before check-in or check-out or whatever. I don't have to deal with other people or time, because I can stop whenever I want to stop, and I can sleep whenever I want to sleep, and I can drive whenever I want to drive. And I did that this summer, or summer 2022. I went for a 2 week drive up to my sister in the north of Norway, and it was like, I'm not tired now, I'm gonna drive. This is the middle of the night, but we have midnight sun, so that's not a problem. It's like, I could drive, and driving at night when there are empty roads is just so nice. It was just me and the road, and we could drive, and I was listening to music, and I was like, I was having the best time. You know, that's what I am seeking when it comes to van life. I am also seeking to kind of get connected a little bit more, connected to me, because I know now that I use my phone way too much. Like, I can put on the computer and start watching a show, and then put up my phone and start playing a game at the same time as I'm trying to watch the show. And I know that I'm doing this because I don't like where I am right now. I don't like winter. I don't want to be here. So I am trying to cloud my mind to just make this time pass. So when it started to become fall, my body was like, I have to get away. I'm like so restless. I just wanted to get away, you know. I felt like the birds that fly south. Like, I wanted to just get up and fly south together with the birds. And then when the frost came in and it started to get cold, I sort of resignated or something, and I went into this like bear mode where I just wanted to go in to my hive and sleep through the winter and cold and everything. So I was like eating a lot and then just wanted to sleep a lot. So I was like just in this foggy, I don't want to be here. And that's been all winter. We are now in the new year. I can already, the days are getting a little bit better. The cold has also gone away a little bit. It might come and it comes and goes and comes and goes all the time. But what I wanted to I want to not be cold. I hate to be cold. I'm a summer child. I was born in the middle of summer, and it was a wonderful summer when I was born. And I have pictures. I'm yay big, you know. I don't know if it's a couple of days or if it's a couple of weeks. I think it's just a couple of days. And my mom brought me with them on the boat out to the islands, and we spent all summer just out on the islands and in the boat, and so I am like, I grew up as a baby in hot weather, sunny. That's what I feel most comfortable with. This cold, I hate it. Like, I need layers and layers and layers of clothes. It needs to be 25 and up for me to feel comfortable, you know. One summer it was up to 32 degrees and I was in my bikini and I felt wonderful. I was running around and I was feeling like I can finally move. This is my perfect temperature. This is how I want my life to be. I want it to be hot. So driving in the car is just like getting around, and I can chase the sun and the hot. And if it's too hot, I can just move somewhere where it's not as hot, you know? The freedom. But one of the things I can start to do now, that I can implement now, so I don't bring those bad habits of mine into the car, because that's something I sort of like. If I wasn't driving and I was in the back of the car or something, my phone came up, I was playing and watching and like clouding my mind instead of just being. Something I also need to be working on is to relax and sleep, because I have a big problem with sleeping in the car. So like I don't sleep, I just rest. I don't get a good night's sleep in the car because my ears are like, I am completely like aware about everything around. I am in this fear-based, I'm scared. Like, I have this strong independent woman thing going, and that's based on the fact that I don't trust other people. That's the reason I am a strong independent woman, is because I don't trust anyone else to take care of me, you know? So I step into this masculine energy, and the masculine energy is looking out for everybody and everyone and just taking care, and you know, and it's tiring. But the thing is, that means that I can't relax. I have a really hard time just feeling comfortable and actually sleeping. So that's something I need to work on, is just being able to trust more. So yeah, so that's something. So one thing I need to do is be more aware of not like taking the phone and just zooming into that and just go into this la la world with my phone. So because I have Instagram and I have Snap and I have Facebook and I have YouTube, and then You know, so I'm constantly checking and then trying to get to talk with other people and watching videos and playing games and, you know, constantly doing something that's not really constructive. Well, I do on both on Instagram and on YouTube. I have been watching shorts and stuff like that. That which the videos I learn stuff from videos. I'm not just watching videos. I usually learn something, um, both about myself and about other things, and you know, educational. So it's not all bad. It's not that, but I need to be more comfortable with not seeking external, you know, I need to come back to being here in the now and not thinking always ahead, 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 but like enjoying the moment I'm in. So that's something I need to focus on, enjoying the moment that I'm in instead of going like keep going and going and going, because that's not van life. So other things that I need to work on slowing down and feeling more comfortable with not doing anything and just being in the now and being grateful and happy about nothing, you know, just being happy that I have a good life, you know, I have food in my stomach and clean water in my tap, and I have a bed to sleep in and enough money that I don't need to be stressed out about bills, and you know, I have a good life and I need to enjoy that more, um and just to stop and breathe and smell the roses, you know, not looking at my phone. And when I see something, my first instinct is to like pull out the phone and take pictures, like, oh, everybody. But that again is like, I want to share it. But the reason why we have to ask, why do I want to share it? Is it because I'm like, look at this, look at me, look how lucky I am to see this? Or is it like, oh, look at this, have you seen something so beautiful? I want to share this because it's beautiful and I want you to enjoy it too. Or like, but maybe, do I need to? Do I need to share it, or can I just enjoy it? You know, can I just not take out the phone, not having to share it, but just enjoy it? Being in that moment, looking at that sunset and just saying, you know what? People can chase their own sunset. And as well, like, I want to be sort of, I was hoping, I love watching, following channels with other creators and seeing their trips and stuff like that, and the beautiful pictures, you know, the beautiful things they capture and all of that. But making my videos are taking away from actually enjoying the moment. So that's something I need to be aware. It's just the light is blinking here. Is that light dead? Huh. Just, sorry, distracted. But anyway, you know, just I lost my brain of thought a little bit there. So another reason that I am going through things now before I'm getting into this is because if I love this life, I don't want it to end, and I don't want to like I don't want van life to be stressful or hard because I didn't plan enough before leaving. So I have to make sure that my life is in order before I leave, so that like that I don't run out of money, that money doesn't become like this stressful thing that I have to think about all the time, because that's something I grew up with and I don't like it. And also, I went to Thailand when I was 25 or something, and or was it 24? I think I was still 24, and I went to Thailand to work there as a telemarketing company. And I worked for that company for a year. I saved up the money, and then I was just living there for a year, and I loved it. It was warm and it was cozy, and I had so much fun, and it was just like this never ending holiday. And then my money ran out, and I didn't want to go back to the company I'd been working for, or that company wasn't running anymore because they were in jail. So we're not gonna talk about that, but I got out in time to say the least. Uh, but yeah, I just when I went home from Thailand, there were so many things that sort of happened before I left, and those last months before I finally like I don't have any more money. I had to borrow money from my dad to pay for the flight ticket to get back home. And then I was like on a welfare check, and I was paying back my dad with that welfare check for a couple of months before I could even start to like save up a little bit. And I had trouble finding a job because I didn't want to be here. I want to go back, I wanted to go back to that kind of life. And that's what I want to avoid happening again, because when I came back, I had to start from scratch. I was living with my parents. I didn't have any money. My bank account was empty. I didn't have any positions. Like, I had some few things, but I was back at scratch as at 26 years old, and I'm turning 39 this year, and I don't want to be like 40 years old and then have a life where I have lost my home, because I have a place and I have a mortgage, and I'm almost done paying the mortgage, but the rent went up and everything else went up, so that mortgage, that finish line sort of moved a couple of years and stuff like that. So I hate when things like that happen. But so I have to make sure that I have all my things in order, like I know that I can survive. That am I going to have an income doing this? I don't think I'm gonna have an income doing this, because my channel has 50 something subscribers. So it's not like I'm gonna make money of that. I don't have any sponsors. Of course I could work harder on making myself a brand, and try to collect more followers and try to get sponsors and stuff like that, to have an income that way. But again, do I really want to kind of build my life up on being a slave for others? Like, is that gonna give me free time, or it's like I have to make videos, I have to make content, I have to share, and it has to be amazing and all of that? And it's like these videos are more like a diary to me, so they are something can look back at and see how far I come. I can see how my thoughts have changed, how my focus has changed, and if my life has become better by doing this, or like, and the thing is, because I don't have the money I want to have, this is taking way longer. Like, staying here this winter was such a downfall for me. It felt like my life was just crumbling. Like, it was so cold, and the snow and the winter, and it's just, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. I want to be on the road. And I've been watching channels. I was just depressed I was so depressed when winter came and I was stuck here and I was crying and I was struggling. But now I'm more like, I try to mentally focus more on being happy, and I try to be, yeah, like I'm gonna focus on being happy, and I'm gonna focus on, what more? Focus on being more connected with what's happening around me and inside me, instead of just seeking outside, not validation, but outside stimuli, you know, seeking stimuli from my phone, seeking stimuli from other people, but just be able to stop up and just look down, look at my feet, look at the ground, see the gravel, see the stones, see the pavement, see the flowers, see the grass, just look at the snowflakes, you know, just focus on being in the moment. You're being here now every second, you know. You can't do that all the time, but you can, like, sometimes you just stop and be here, and that's something I'm starting to work on, you know. But again, I need to focus on how am I going to be able to have this lifestyle, even if it's just like in the winter, like I work all summer and then I travel all winter, or because there are expenses you need to think about, like you need to pay for gas or fuel, and you need to pay for road maintenance, and you need to pay for insurance, and then you need food and showers and toilets, and you know, there might be expenses there. Things might break down, so you need roadside assistance or just change stuff on your car. Like, you need to have money for all of that, and I want to have enough money to be comfortable. I don't want to be stressed out. So right now in my life, I have enough money to be able to cover if unexpected, um, you know, something happens. Like when my dog got sick and I had to pay for his treatment, there was not a problem. I had enough. It's just that's what I feel like is comfortable, and that's how I want to travel to. I want to be able to stop and buy an ice cream if that's what I want to do. I want to be able to pay to get into an attraction or to go somewhere, or to, you know, if something happens with the car, I just don't want to like be stressed out about it, but I want to be able to have the money to just fix it and keep going and all of that. So is van life isn't for me to save money, it's to live more. um so I just need to figure out how to do that. And I think this video is one I'm going to revisit a couple of times to look through what I'm saying and like remember it, to keep reminding myself what I actually want from going in my car around. Like I want to travel, I want to see more of Europe, I want to see more of, I want to live more, because I don't have children, I don't have a husband, I don't have a boyfriend, I have friends. It's just I need to find me, and I think van life is gonna help me find me. And when I find me, that's when I'm ready to actually connect with another person, because before I find me, I am not gonna be the best me, you know. So I'm gonna attract people that I might don't want to have in my life, which aren't good in my life, but they're gonna be giving me life lessons. But anyway, enough about that. So I want to be on the road to find myself, to feel centered inside my body, to let go of this masculine, fear-based way of living and being and interacting, and just I want to be someone that runs around in dresses, you know, not fancy dresses, just like this cotton type, you know, old, oh, what's that, the singing over the mountains thingy, kind of dresses, you know, like this feminine. I just want to be, but I can't be that here because it's too cold. Even in summer, Norway is too cold for me to actually wear dresses. And I also have a job that, like, I need to wear pants. But, you know, so it's just, I want to be the person that I feel like being inside, which the life I have now is not giving me access to. And I can wait until I'm in the van to change my life, or I can start now. And I can start mentally preparing, physically preparing, and doing all the things that I need to do so that when I finally get in the van and finally start living this life, it's not gonna be this huge change. It's just gonna flow naturally and more in the direction I want it to be. So yeah, I hope this is helpful for you, and thank you for listening for so long, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. And other things that I have, um, sorry.